Well, the time has finally come. I believe I have all of the parts that I'm needing or wanting for my first custom lightsaber build. So we're going to take a look at everything that's going to go in this next. Stick around. That's right, folks. I finally am ready to start doing my custom lightsaber build. I've been trying to get all the parts together for like 2 months now to be able to do this lightsaber build, and I think I finally got everything that I need. The last part arrived literally the day after I left for vacation, but I knew that even with that, I wasn't going to be able to get this started quite yet. So this video series that I'm going to do, with this being the first episode of it, is basically going to be just timelining the build itself, going through everything that I'm doing as far as trying to put together this lightsaber for you guys to watch and see, and hopefully learn as I'm learning myself what I need to do to be able to make this work like one of those. So let's go ahead and take a look at what all we've got. Let me put this back in place, and we're going to look at the parts that I've ordered. So as you can see here, I have a lot of stuff sitting on the counter here. Starting out with, we have, of course, the chassis, or the actual empty chassis, the actual lightsaber itself, as referred to as an empty if you're looking at custom lightsabers. So you can buy the different housings, chassis, whatever you want to call it, that you can get from a variety of different manufacturers out there. You can get them pre-built where they already come with all of this stuff installed, or you can do like I'm doing, and as a novice, so Lord knows I may end up frying one of these pieces before it's over with and having to replace it, but you'll be able to take all of that stuff and put it into one of these empty housings and make your own lightsaber, customized the way you want it to be able to put your own profiles that whether you get it online or if you're, good at coding, maybe even create your own to go on these lightsabers. But let's take a look at what we have here. So like I said, we have the actual empty housing itself that all of this stuff is going to go into. That does come with, of course, your screws to be able to hold everything together, because it does have, as you can see here by my thumb, on the back side there, a couple different places, it does have screw holes in there for you to be able to secure all the different pieces to make sure everything goes together properly. Now, this particular chassis does come apart into multiple sections, but we'll look at that in a later video. Then you have the actual the chassis itself that goes inside the empty hilt. This is where all of that goes into. So all of these pieces that are up here are going to mount inside this, and this is 2 pieces, and be able to create the internal electronics that go into the lightsaber. Now, I know you're looking at all this and thinking to yourself, well, what in the world is everything that's sitting there? Well, I'm going to show you right now. Okay, to start off with, you've got the brain of the lightsaber itself, or what they refer to as the soundboard. It's kind of like the motherboard of a computer, if you've ever built computers or done anything with a PC itself. But it's the main board of the computer, or of the lightsaber, and that is this here. Now, this is a Profi board. This is a version 2.2. I do have a 32 gig memory card installed in this right here, which I found out was the largest size memory card that you can put inside of one of these. Now, it came with a 16, but I had a 32 sitting alongside doing nothing, just there, so I decided I'm going to use that particular board or memory card to go inside that. Just below it, we have a USB-C port. Now, that particular port will sit right here in this opening on this build. And the reason I bought it separate was it has not only charging capabilities, but it also has data capability on it. And we'll go into details on which one of the pin locations do what. What I'm planning to do is not only wire this up to where I can charge to that port, but I can also be able to update the Profi board inside with new fonts for the soundboard, without having to pull the thing apart completely, because I'm going to end up wiring this particular one to this micro USB. Now, that particular micro USB will insert on the back side of the Profi board right here. It'll go into there, so that way it'll make it where I don't have to pull this device apart every time I want to do a software update or update the profiles like I was mentioning. So I'm going to attach these two together. Now, where I'm going to be basically learning and hoping that I don't fry anything, which honestly, if I do fry this piece, it's going to be a pain because it took me a little while to get this from overseas. That is the switchboard. Now, this switchboard has the on and off one single switch button on there, but it also has the USB board on there already. I am going to try and see if I can actually wire from the underneath side of that board, solder from there to this micro USB board or port end, and have it do what I want it to do with being able to do the updates. But I have to see if it will work or not. So I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work as the way it sits. So I may be unsoldering that particular USB-C port off of there and wiring in the one that you're seeing here on the mat. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, I'm probably going to have to order a second one of those, which may delay the build a little while, just because of how long it did take to get here. Above that, these are two different Bluetooth capable chips, and what these are going to do is give me the ability to utilize my phone and an app that I found to be able to go through and select and change the different profiles on the fly if I want to. So I'll have the ability to do that possibly as well. The reason I ordered two different ones, as you can see the difference in size, is I don't know which one of them are going to fit in this chassis the easiest, because not only do I have to wire those up, but I also have to wire the charging board that charges the battery that it's going to be in there. This is the lithium battery that's rechargeable that goes inside this chassis, and if everything goes properly, I'll be able to just charge that battery through the port of the USB-C on the front of the lightsaber. Also got a kill switch on here, which will, if I'm going to store it for a time period, will kill the power going to the battery or to the lightsaber from the battery. The only thing is, when I got the chassis, the 3D printed chassis down here, I haven't been able to find where I can install that, so I may not be able to utilize that on this particular saber build. Now, all of this stuff that you see here, as far as the chassis itself, or the empty hilt, the chassis, and the switch are all LGT brand lightsabers. Now, anybody who knows anything about lightsabers, of course, will know that LGT, it could potentially be listed as one of the lower ends. However, it is honestly the brand that the majority of your US resellers that don't make their own actually do. They're affiliate sellers for this particular brand, which is actually done by Damien Sabers overseas in China. So a lot of your companies, a lot of them are this particular brand and style. So they're ones that are going to come pre-built for you in most cases, unless you decide to get an empty and do it yourself. Now, I could have done this myself, or I could have just bought this, for myself, already pre-built, and have it ready to go for, I think, about $150 to $200. But I wanted the experience of doing it. I wanted to see how it was to build my own lightsaber from scratch. So that's the reason why I'm doing it. May have cost me a little bit more just because of the fact that I did buy some things that I didn't need. However, I think I'll be happier in the end whenever I do finish the build. So all of this will go inside this chassis. The last piece that I haven't talked about, though, is the PCB connectors. Now, I did not buy a PCB connector to do myself. The first go around, I bought one that was pre-done. As you can see, it already has the resistor, the wires, and everything on it to go and install in there, so I can use it with my NeoPixel blade that I also ordered. I decided I wasn't going to tackle making my own blade as of yet, so I went ahead and just bought one that does fit this particular saber. So that blade is the one that will get used for this. Now, this build is not going to be something that I'm going to do quick, so I'm hoping to be able to do a video every week or so as I do the build. It all depends on the rest of the content that I have, which, if you guys saw my desk, I have a ton of stuff to be able to get content-wise to you guys. Especially with the fact that I was on vacation all last week and wasn't able to really get anything done as far as reviews go, so it's all starting to pile up. So we're going to get that stuff done for you as quick as possible. The last piece that you do have to get, though, is your wiring. So you have to have the right size wiring, and I'm going to get back over to a full screen for you guys. You do have to make sure that you're using the right size wiring because of the amount of heat and current that'll go through there. So I have ordered wiring kits that I found online, and I'm going to put links to pretty much all these pieces on the videos. They'll be pretty much in every single video. Down in the description, I'll have a list of all the parts that I've purchased and all the parts that are going into this build as we go through and do the build, so that you guys can see. So like when I first start doing it, I'll have what parts I've used for that build, and then the next video will have the additional parts that we've added in and all that until we get to the last video. When we get the final build finished, you'll have a full list of all the parts that have been installed in this. So I don't want to put a piece on there that we end up not using for whatever reason for you guys if you're deciding you want to go in and do the build. So that way you won't have a bunch of stuff that's not being used. So let me know what you guys think. Are you thinking about tackling your own lightsaber build? I'd love to hear it. If you've done lightsaber builds, please leave me a comment. Let me know how yours went. I'm interested. I'm excited to get started on this and see just how this is going to go. So wish me luck. May the Force be with me. And we'll get this all taken care of and done. So don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button down there. Check the little notification bell so that way you can help the channel out for content like this, and also so you get notifications of when these videos go live. Also check down here across the bottom. That's all the socials. That's where you get heads up on when a video is going to go live. So don't forget to do all of that, and wish me luck on this, guys. May the Force be with me on this build, because I think I might be over my head, but also may the Force be with you.